Good morning, Yogi David here. I just felt inspired to do a video. It's not really about any one certain subject, so I was kind of avoiding doing it, but I have so much to share. Each day I do more with mindfulness, the quieting of my thoughts. I do it before bed when I wake up. And I find that my ego mind tries ever more clever ways to try to get my attention. And whatever it is, just is made to seem important. So I find when I try harder, so to speak, actually, when I turn my thoughts off, it's restful. I tell myself I'm relaxing into my natural state, which is just to be. I don't have to seek, I don't have to keep thinking, calculating life, fantasizing, reliving the past, all the fun avenues down the labyrinth of the mind, and it's never ending. I notice it'll just keep on generating more and more and more and more. Like what the Mandelbrot said, the infinite fractal, it never stops. A few more ideas as to what has helped me keep the thing quiet. As I said before, thanks to all the years of meditation, when I want to stop thinking, just nothing. All I'm aware of is the sound from my air conditioner in the car, the sun on my hand and my face, the phone in my hand, and that's it. There's no process going on. But it really annoys the mind, of course. So when I use a simple strategy like that, you got to plan for tomorrow. What are you going to do tomorrow? Where are we going now? And it starts the rabbit race again. So hence the use of mantra. But I realize that mantra has to be used mindfully to work. If you do Ram, 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 and you're thinking about groceries and how much your wife upset you this morning and what's going on with the kids, it's just noise. Now, if that's going on, because stopping the thoughts is such a difficult thing for so many, like it was for me in the beginning. If you do that mantra long enough, for instance, if I do my Hare Krishna mantra, one round or one bead is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and turn one bead 108 times. I find about the third round, finally, my mind will become quiet. Still, it tries and tries and tries. It doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to come to the moment. And that's what it does. A wonderful tool, a terrible master to live under. And what else was I thinking? Ways to stop the mind. That little visualization that I mentioned in my other video regarding the silence of the mind. I close my eyes. And I see the mind as a big computer, pumping out data, creating images, creating the fear, creating all that it creates, and unplugging it or turning it off with a big switch. And hearing it wind down, fans turning down, the whole thing grinding to a halt. And that image has the effect of stopping my thoughts. I'm turning off the thought machine. And there's only peace after that. I find, by the way, one of the little tricks my mind has come up with to pull me back in, if I'm being mindful, if I'm being silent and driving, or I'm cooking, or whatever, it excites me. I want to give lectures. I want to speak. I want to write books. And I will. All that's coming in my future. That's what I was put here to do. I'll think about that. like, what do I want to say to these people? What spiritual message, what wonderful gems of truth do I want to give them? And of course, I feel important. And there it goes. There's the rat race again. Finding some new way to grab my attention. So, clever. And you just have to not be heedful of it. Just, whatever. I'm here. I'm just here. Talk all you want to. I've been more and more, as I mentioned, my experience in the dream state with Ram, doing Ram, as I'm waking up. And finally, just that one time, not a few times since then actually, I'm able to pull back Ram and then just watch the dream happen. And a few times I've taken control of the dream. For whatever reason, terrible nightmares start up. And this one was a very horrible, demonic thing chasing me around this creepy building. And I rammed and I just stopped and watched. And I said, what is my dream? It doesn't chase me. I'm sure on some subconscious level, it's my fears represented something. I stopped running, turned around, looked the thing right in the eye. I just stood and rammed and just peace, stopping the thoughts. The creepy building, I put my hand on the wall and changed the vibration of the building, sending out waves of love, really, of love to that building, to the whole experience. Everything changed, everything went away. And, so cool. That was a cool experience. I don't know how useful that is for spiritual growth, really, except perhaps my fears aren't chasing me. Oh my gosh, another trick of the ego, to paint the worst picture it can and then show it to you. You are going to lose this new job of yours. They're not going to like you. You're going to wreck the bus. I'm a new bus driver. On and on and on. Things that have no existence in this moment. Things that are fairly unlikely to happen, actually. But it just has to. It has to pull you. And all you can do is remain. If you push against it, it'll push back. If you try to think no thoughts, you're thinking a thought. All you can do is be silent. Breathe. Restful. Clear your mind. Realize you have no need to think these things. It only seems important. Pure, quiet. You can do this by the methods I mentioned. Breath. What was it said? I can't think what yogi said it. The kite is consciousness, and breath is the string that controls the kite. Hence, a lot of yoga involves work with pranayama, breath. So here you go, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. My video is so random, I apologize. I'm going to do it how well I can do it now. I'll try one breath I know. First of all, let's talk about what a yogic breath means. So, in through the nostrils, which according to yogic thought is how you absorb prana, absorb life force from the breath. So here we go. I'll empty it out all the way empty. So and notice how refreshing that is. Clears my head right up immediately. That is a deep yogic breath. Do it anytime you want, all day long. It doesn't have to be loud like that. If I'm at work or something, I'll just do it quietly. And just make a point of using my full lung capacity. Another breath that's really awesome that you can start to do It has a Sanskrit name, of course. I can't think of what that would be. So fingers here. Let's back up a little bit. Finger here and thumb over here, right? So one nostril is closed. Fingers are on your third eye. Wow, just that. The way I was taught to do this, in for a count of 2 perhaps, or 3. Hold for 2 or 3. 1, 2, 3. Let it go. 1, 2, 3. So they're all even. And over a few weeks, you can get to a count of 7, 8, 9, and keep getting better and better. As you reach numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it feels like you're not going to get enough oxygen. You will, because you're breathing in a lot of oxygen, so you're going to be fine. And it just takes a few weeks to get used to. Very productive, very useful at controlling the mind and quieting the mind, so your true soul self is in your awareness. I don't want to say become, because you're not becoming your soul. You are your soul. You are the Atman, who has a mind, has a body, has an ego. So you can become you, so to speak. Words fail, this type of thing. I want to talk, 12 minutes, wow. I will be brief about it then. I mentioned my Samadhi experience in my Divananda page. I want to talk a little bit more about what happened after. The fusion with the infinite cannot be described. I want to say Yogi Ramacharaka said when the yogi reaches a place where he knows he cannot go any higher, you are one with. You are no longer the ego whatsoever. It's not there at all. There is no time, no space, no up, no down, no duality at all. Pure, timeless awareness. That was given to me on LSD. LSD does not produce that effect on everybody. I thought it did at first. It doesn't. I was so excited. That experience was given to me. As I was coming back and in the terrible squeezing myself back into David's ego, David's body, becoming limited again wasn't enjoyable. Love. There was this process that happened. I was hyper aware, hyper powerful. And I began doing calculations. If this is true, then that's true. And I had access to all knowledge at this point. If that's true, that's true. If this is true, that's true. So not quite to the pinnacle. I was once again coming back down to myself, the David self. And I began performing it, looking at the universal knowledge and going, well, that's true, that's true. And I mean, billions of times. And then it was done in a spiral, and it was distinctive. Asking questions, conclusions, until finally I reached the pinnacle of the spiral. And I was like, well, there it is. There's the answer to everything. And the answer was unconditional cosmic love. Not romantic love or love of ice cream. Love billions of times larger than anything we ever imagine in our day-to-day lives. And it just blew me away. So I looked back at all the so-called calculations I did them again. So I was like, oh, there should be some grand equation, some mathematical thing. And there wasn't. It was love again, of course. The presence, myself, the self, was again there in a more verbal sense. I was like, well, what's bothering you? And I was like, we all think the answer to the universe, to life, is some grand, mystical, difficult to understand thing. And it's just this love. That's all it is. Yeah, it's very simple. And that's why so many people don't get it, because it's kind of very simple under your nose. And it blew me away. Just blew me away. That's what it is. But I couldn't deny it because I could see very clearly that's the truth. And by the way, later, when I talk about this experience, by the way, it's all higgledy-piggledy because time was not flowing correctly and it's hard to put it in order, so I apologize. I was taught by a book on hypnosis that we as conscious beings have access to all intelligences that have ever existed or will exist. So I was like, well, let's get the big three. It's called Jesus, Buddha, Krishna. I want to talk to them. And boom, there they were. Not visually. I wasn't quite there in that visual lit up state anymore. But they were there, very much there. I mean, like a presence. All three of them. Jesus spoke. The others did not. And I was like, wow. And they're like, well, what do you think of this? I'm like, I had not the faintest idea or inkling that this is really how it is. And they're like, yep, this is how it is. And at that moment, when I realized love is the answer, peace. Love flowed through every particle of my being, every cell, every part of my mind, every part of me, everything. And I looked at them, so in a conversational sense. I was like, wow, this is what it's like to be you guys, to be a complete avatar, to be one. And I go, yes, this is what we're like. And they were like, in one sense, you're not supposed to be here because you used a drug. But we're glad that you're here, and there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just you did this to get here, whereas most don't. And then yes, and I thought, wow, maybe I did something wrong. I was cheating somehow. And I told him I don't want to forget that I was here. I don't want to forget that this place in consciousness exists. And they all said, you will not forget. I didn't want to leave, though. And they said, well, you can't stay. You must go back to your life as it was, with the knowledge you carry, the experience you carry. So I told them I must tell other human beings that this exists, that it's real and possible, without the use of chemicals to do it. And they said, yes, you will. And I have spent 24 years doing my mantra, fighting with my ego. I screamed. That experience was so strange, so different, that I just ran back to my ego self and just hid I would do tarot, and I would do meditation, but I it was asked of me, do you want to just eliminate your karma altogether? Because you can do that from where you are. And I told them, no, I want to go back right to my fears, my pain, my struggles. I want to go right back there and start and dig my way out of it all. And they're like, you sure you want to do that? I said, yes, I do. So I did. And you would think that an experience like that would just make you an enlightened master. And we are. And I was. But it was disconnected so far from day-to-day reality that it was difficult to apply it and evaluate it. So I would listen to Ram Dass. Back then in the 90s, there was really no internet to access. So only very lately, actually, with the help of Eckhart Tolle, especially, Ram Dass, Mooji, am I able to interpret and make use of that experience. to make my life what it is, what I am. I am guru. I really am. It's not a prideful thing. It's just what I came here to do. I'm not above anybody. I can relate to anyone's fears and pains and problems because I've done them. I've done awful things in my life. I've watched everything there is to watch on the internet. My joke is I've seen things no man should see. So no one's going to come to me with their sins, so to speak. There's no sin. But there's still they think is awful. I'm not going to go, oh, what are you telling me? I would just look at them with unconditional love. It's okay. It's okay. You're a soul. You're awake. Only this moment matters. So, there's my video for today. Chaos. But I hope something useful was spoken. More to come. Realize that you are love. You are an enlightened being. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you at all. Namaste. I love you all.